And we're live! Hello, hello! Hey there! Zoon here! Zoon here! Zoon and Bob! I'm Zoon. No, I'm Zoon. And he's Bob. I'm Zoon, and you're Bob. Yes. So, good to see you. Happy holidays. Good to see you. Happy holidays. And a special word from a person who'd probably sponsor us if he were alive, Vincent Price. I love Zoon and Bob. They are my favorite. Oh, thanks, Vince. I am a ghost, but I love you guys. Oh, ghosts. That's what Christmas is all about. Whoa, man. You hit me hard with the jokes. Ghosts. That's what Christmas is all about. Good job. So, you ready to take a card for the theme of the show? Let's take a card for the theme of the show. Cut it, Bob. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it. Cut it, Bob. Yep. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. We've gotten this before. Harmless joke. You know what this means, huh? Don't worry. We're just joking most of the time. Except when we're not. And we'll let you know when that is. Yeah, so don't get offended. If it sounds weird, we're just joking. If it doesn't sound weird, we're very, very serious. It's an easy rule of thumb, right? Yeah. Harmless joke. All right, let's see if this theme plays out today on the show. And as you can see, I've got my Zoon and Bruce mug. It's funny that it's Zoon and Bruce on the mug and there's no Bob on the mug. That's the way it goes. Oh, why are you so far away?
Because you keep looking at the other side.
What? Yeah, but never mind. All right. So, any questions, anybody, before we start? All right. All right, no questions. As always, our pal, Mr. Frog. Hello, I am Mr. Frog. Good to see you. Thank you, Mr. Frog. All right, Bob, question one. Question one? All right, I guess we're jumping into questions. Well, hold on. Yes. I want to say, if you're having a hard time with Christmas gifts or Hanukkah gifts or whatever, winter solstice gifts, consider donating to OneTreePlanted.org. They're an organization devoted to planting trees, local trees, healthy trees. And trees are good for cleaning the water and the air and enriching the soil and sharing love. So if you want to give a gift to everyone on Earth, consider a donation to OneTreePlanted.org. That sounded like you're doing a professional spot, but we just really like them. Like we're not, being asked to do spots for them. We just really like them. And it's a nice thing to do. Yeah, it's a nice thing to do too. All right. First question. Hi, Zoon and Bob. I'm a new friend of the show. Found you today. Oh, thanks. Zoon, are you married? If not, would you marry a human? Asking for a friend. What? You know what asking for a friend means, right?
What does it mean?
It means they're actually asking for themselves, but they don't want to say directly they're asking for themselves. Are you asking me to marry you?
That's so funny.
Well, first off, I mean, are you married? No.
Have you ever married In
No.
the planet?
Not in this lifetime. Because
In
we
the
don't
planet.
really do marriages.
You don't have a marriage?
No.
Do you have a families?
Yes.
Okay, so the marriage doesn't exist or family exists.
Oh yeah. So why don't you guys have marriages? We have something completely different, and you wouldn't understand, so I'm not going to explain it.
Try, explain us.
Well, hmm. I don't know how to even explain it. Let's just say it's kind of like marriage. So you do? Not really, but sort of. Uh-huh. So you're just not going to answer this question, right? Well, I'll answer the second part. I'm open to marrying a human. No, you're not. What? No, you are not open to marrying a human. That would make my life extremely complicated and difficult. That's not happening, bro. Oh, come on. No. What if I marry a man? No, that makes it worse. That makes it even harder for me. I mean, not worse like there's anything wrong with it. It's just, for me, my life would be more difficult. So, I'm not allowed? Yeah, right now you are not allowed. If you can figure out how to show up in a body that doesn't require me, I guess do whatever you want, but oh. Well, you heard it here. Old Zoon's not allowed to get married. You make it sound like we're so mean to you. Think about it, man. That would be really hard. Yeah, I guess you're right. You know with 100% certainty that I am correct on this one. Huh. All right. So, that's a very interesting question. Thank you. I hope you got an acceptable answer. And if not, sorry. All right. Next question. Ding, ding, ding. Zoon, this is hard for me to write. Oh, I hope I don't make you or Bob uncomfortable. I am disabled and alone for the holidays. How can I cheer myself up? I feel pretty low. That sounds really... Yeah, thank you for that question. My advice is whatever way is available to you, participate with other people. You'll feel better, I promise. For example, you sent us a question, and that's very nice. We're interacting. You'll probably watch this later and be glad that we answered your question. I would say, since the internet gives you the chance to talk to people, give it a try. See if you can find people out there that understand you and connect. And I would say, don't worry too much. There are a lot of people alone on the holidays. Hey, well, it's true. It is true. So you're not alone, in a sense. Come on, man. But seriously, we're here with you. If you ever want to talk, just reach out. And if you want to hang out, you're always welcome in our chats. If there's a time of day you want us to do a live show and just hang out, we can do it. Just let us know. If we're available, if we don't have plans already, of course. Of course, Bob. Yeah. So I hope that answered your question. And remember, you can do it. Hey! Oh! Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. Hey, Bob. Yeah. We need theme music. Theme music. Yeah, well, let's one step at a time, man. Yeah. We're really zipping through these questions. Yeah, we are kind of moving a little fast. All right, next question. Okay. Zoon, I am a big fan. I am shy, but I have to know. You're an alien. You could have gone anywhere. Why Earth? You said there are a lot of planets. Oh, I did say that, huh? Yeah. You said there are people all over the galaxy, and you visited other planets. So this time, why did you choose Earth? You want the truth? Yeah, I want the truth. Because your species has one of the best senses of humor in the entire galaxy. Humans are hilarious. You came here for the jokes? Yeah. You guys are some of the funniest critters out there. Critters. Critters. Oh, we're funny critters. Thanks. I'm a critter. Any other reasons besides the jokes that you decided to come here? Well, I like your art. I like your understanding of space and design. I like your music. Well, some of your music. Thanks. I think you guys are very, very close to a very big breakthrough that's going to open up the whole galaxy to you. But you're not there yet. And if I can help in even a small way, well, that's a good way to spend my time, I think. Because, you're so close. And yet so far away. Not that far, really. A few minor tweaks here and there, You guys are better than you think. Well, thanks. That's a nice thing to say. We're critters, but we're better than we think we are. Yeah. What do you think? You're a critter from Earth? What do you think? Yeah. Oh, you can say something.
I don't know.
Yeah. You don't know what to think?
No.
What's the matter? You're frowning and you're quiet.
I'm smiling and quiet.
Well, you were frowning. Now you're smiling. Oh, don't roll your eyes. That's not nice. It's one of those days. All right. Let's see. We have another question. This one's going to require a device. Oh, more questions. Oh, I have to unlock it. Sorry about that. Do you have any advice or advices to realize our unconscious biases by ourselves? Oh, that's a great question.
What was that question name?
Of
Bias?
course, you wait till I close the thing. Do you have any advice or advices to realize our unconscious biases by ourselves? It's funny. The way to do this, to recognize the biases that you have unconsciously, the little hidden prejudices in the back of your mind, it's the same as recognizing traumas. Is it? Yeah. What you want to do is pay attention to every thought that pops in your head and ask yourself honestly, why do I think that? And then every time you answer the question, you think, is that really why I think that? Why else might I think that? And really go deep, question by question. Every time that's something that pops in your head, ask, why do I think that? And don't stop until you really get to the root, the deep, deep root. Can you give me an example? Okay, here's one. Let's say you're one of those people, and I'm just picking a random type, who says, oh, the world just isn't ready for my ideas. You know what I'm talking about? Like say you're trying something and you fail, and then you say, the world is just not ready for my ideas. I'm too far ahead. Now, ask yourself, why do I think that? Now you might say, well, I am pretty far ahead. You say, okay. Why do you think that? Because really, it's impossible to know where you're at, right?
Mhm.
Now, if you think the world isn't ready, also ask yourself that. Why do you think the world isn't ready? You have the idea, right?
Mhm.
So it's a good time to work with that idea and see what you can do with it. But when you ask, why do I really have that idea? You might say, well, I've always kind of thought that. Oh, well, why did you think that? You see what I'm saying? Keep asking the question until you get to the root. And then you could say, oh, well, when I was a kid, my parents said that I wasn't very smart. Oh, that could be a trauma, huh? It could also be a source of an unconscious bias against yourself.
Mm.
Wow. So what you're saying then is keep asking deep questions of your motivations of why you think things, and don't accept the first answer. Don't accept the first answer,
Mm.
or the second, or the third,
How
Goes-
far should we go?
until you can't go any further.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, eventually you just have to stop, right? Because you could say, my parents told me I wasn't very smart. Well, why did my parents do that? Yeah, that has nothing to do with your biases, though. Right, because why did they do it? It's impossible to know. We can guess, but you're right. So that's where it ends, is when it leaves you. Right. Can I ask a follow-up question for this then? Sure. For discovering an unconscious bias or a hidden trauma that you weren't aware of that's affecting your behavior, once you notice it, like say in your example, right? You trace it all the way back to when you were a kid, your parents told you weren't smart. So then when you get a good idea, you say, the world isn't ready for this because it shouldn't come from me or whatever. What do you do at that point once you recognize your bias or your trauma? Like, what do you do with it? Well, Bob, that's a weirdly good question. Thanks. Well, what I would say is find some way to accept that that's the way you were. Say, this is my trauma. This is my bias. Spell it out specifically, what you believe. Okay. And then forgive everyone involved. That doesn't mean you forget. It doesn't mean you didn't learn, whatever you needed to learn from it. But forgive. Because say if your parents told you you were stupid, right? I'm sure they didn't do that because they wanted to hurt you. Or if they did want to hurt you, they have some trauma that caused them to want to hurt their children. It's really not their fault. I know sometimes it can be really brutal and hard, but you have to forgive. Even if you can't forget, you say, hey, I don't trust you because you hurt me, but I forgive you because, you have your own stuff you're dealing with. Right? Okay, so you forgive the people involved. Now, do you have to forgive them by calling them or writing them a letter, or no, just forgive them in your heart. Now, if you just find that you can't and you're able to reach out, do it. If they've passed on or you can't find them, or you just want to do it on your own, make a ritual out of it. Write it down on a piece of paper, how they hurt you, and then forgive them. Forgive yourself for being hurt, because we often blame ourselves. And then get rid of that piece of paper. Throw it in the ocean, burn it, whatever you got to do. Recycle it. Put it in the compost. But get it out of there. Okay? And then let it go. And if you can't let it go, then practice letting it go every day. And then, once you've practiced for a while and you still can't let it go, if that happens, then just forget about it. You've done enough. And if you catch yourself doing it again, start the process over. Why am I thinking this? And if it's the same trauma or bias, pay close attention because there could be more than one root reason. It might not be that one incident or that one type of thing. You may discover, my parents told me I wasn't smart. So did my teachers and my friends. Oh, then you got to go through the same process or all the people that reinforced whatever it is until you can let it go. Wow. Sounds like a lot of work. Well, yeah, but you get to be free. Life gets a lot more vibrant and enjoyable. You're right. Well, I mean, I was going to say, if you try it and it doesn't work, but you answered that. I was going to say, if you can't let go, what do you do? But you answered that too. I mean, how many biases and traumas would you say a person might have that they have to get rid of? Oh, hundreds. Hundreds. Can you work through more than one at a time? Yeah, why not? Okay. I mean, that's a lot of rituals. Yeah, but, you light some candles and some incense and, meditate and go over it. That's doing the work. That's what they call that. Doing the work. That was a great question. I'm all out of questions. I don't have any more for today. Nobody's posted any, or at least I don't see any on our side. Sometimes the YouTube doesn't post it on our side. It's just on your side. But
I think everybody is having a holiday dinner.
Anything else we want to shout out before we go? Because it's a pinch early.
Bias. I think, I tend to blame myself when one event, whatever event or accident happened. I assume that I did something wrong, and I notice my pattern, right? And then, sometimes it is, but sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it doesn't matter, right? What's your advice for that? I found a habit of blaming myself without actually knowing the details. I always assume. Yeah.
Well, why do you blame yourself?
Why do I blame myself?
Yeah. I'll rephrase it. What does blame do for you? You blame yourself for a reason. It does something for you. You have some justification. You blame yourself because blaming yourself feels blank. What? Oh, wow. I hadn't even thought of that. I've been talking to her about that for a while, man, and you just popped a good one in there. Yeah, that's a good question, Zoon. What's the purpose of the blame? How does it make you feel? What does it do for you?
I feel guilty, right? I must have done something wrong. Then I feel guilty, right?
Right.
And I don't know if this is the purpose, but that's the result.
The result.
You didn't hear? I think you didn't hear. You were distracted, I know.
No.
No, what I'm saying is, I don't know.
Sorry.
So I don't know the purpose, but the result, okay, I blame myself, then I feel guilty. That's the result of.
Right.
But I don't know what's the purpose of me blaming myself.
Well, the question you have to ask yourself is, what is your brain trying to accomplish by giving you this guilt? It's trying to do something. It's trying to serve a purpose. It's trying to do a good job.
I got a good one. I think because like I think like it's coming from like a acceptance, like being accepted by anybody, like validation.
Aha!
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So
No. Two
Yeah.
questions from that. You see, when you get to that when you ask why, you have to ask, why don't you feel validated on your own? And why do you seek others' validation? And if you don't know an answer, think back in the past. When did you have an incident where you needed validation and didn't get it?
I think it's a very, very common thing that people don't like look for validation, and I'm just wondering if it's like.
Hold on.
Yeah.
It's common, but you need to know from your own experience. Hey, Domred, I see your question, and we're gonna answer your question as soon as we're done on this topic. Okay? I see you.
I'll think about it.
No. Answer.
Answer?
Yeah. If it's too personal, we'll talk about it later.
Mm-hmm.
But can you think of anything?
No.
All right. Well, I would say remember this, and before you go to bed, meditate and think about it.
Okay.
When did I not get validation? And when and what was I doing when I needed validation and didn't get it? And keep going backwards until you get to the root, the first real trauma that caused this.
Okay, thank you, Zoon.
Hey, you're welcome.
Take time to think about it.
All right, the real Domred. Hello! Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Winter Solstice, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy whatever you're into. I'm with you, buddy. Now, right here in our chat, the real Domred asks, how do you deal with addictions? Now, this is a very interesting question because you guys have a lot of ideas, and some of them seem to contradict, but a lot of them are right. What does that mean? Well, like there are many different causes. It's not just one cause, it's a lot of different causes. For example, some people feel unloved and unaccepted. And then they chase for that love and acceptance, which pushes people away. And then they think, how can I stop pushing? Right? Then they'll get caught up in things that make them feel that they're not pushing anymore. Like heroin? Yeah, like heroin. And then they get that rest. They get that the release, the relief of not having to push for love. But, heroin's not really a substitute for love either. It makes you sick and sad over time. Right. Which makes you do more heroin, which makes you more sick and more sad. Until you get help or I guess get too sick or die, right? Yeah. Okay, well that's one cause. What are some others? You said there are different causes. Of course, that's one. Another one is an unresolved trauma. And it causes you pain all the time, and you want to numb that pain out. And it might not even take the form of a drug. It could be something as simple as ADD or OCD. Oh, I'm going to count the steps in the sidewalk because I have to make my universe make sense because it didn't make sense before. You're trying to create order where you think there's chaos. You see? That's a different cause. So you consider OCD a type of addiction? I think so, yes. Addicted to order, imposing order on reality. That makes sense. I mean, pay attention to the numbers and the shape and everything, and then you try to force reality to conform, I guess. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. All right. There are other forms of addiction. Lots of them. What I would say, the easiest way to figure out the cause of your own addiction, if that's what you struggle with, is to eliminate anxiety about the past, eliminate anxiety about the future, and try to be as present as possible. If you can't be present, just pause whatever you're doing take 3 deep breaths and just be in the here and now. You see, anxiety is usually when you're time traveling into the future. You're worried about something imaginary that probably won't even happen, right? Guilt, shame, those things are usually about the past. Mistakes you made. Sometimes we feel guilty for our own traumas and our own problems, and we can't let go of that guilt. But if you're in the present, you don't feel it because it's all about the past. Right, it's imaginary. What if it doesn't feel imaginary? Like, what if it's really extreme? Then what you got to do is practice. Practice being here and now. It shouldn't always have to be easy, right? Remember what we were saying before? Do the work. Step by step. So you're saying then don't let yourself or let go of feelings of disappointment if you're not able to be present. Right. Just notice that you're not being present. Take 3 deep breaths and be present again. Sounds so simple. And I would say, of course, meditate every day. Be really in tune with where you are, what you're doing, who you are. Not just what you think, but why you think what you think. And let go of thoughts. Your thinking's not that important. Your identity's not really important either. It's not. You can decide to be whoever you want. People have this idea that our identities are based on the past. Right? Oh, I've done this thing, therefore I'm this kind of person. You can just choose to do something else. Do you become a different kind of person every time you change what you do? Or are you still you? What do you think? We're not the sum of our choices. We're not. We're the choice we make in the moment. And then you let go of that choice and you have a new one. Always, every moment. All right, but let's get back to the question though. How do you deal with addictions? My advice on this, to how to deal with addictions, is first be as present as you possibly can. Practice every day. And then, like we were saying before about traumas and biases, ask yourself why you think a certain way. Oh, that reminds me. I forget who we were talking to. We were talking a couple days ago about that experiment they did with rats, where if it's in like a laboratory cage, they'd put the water bottle with like cocaine or heroin or whatever in it, and then a regular water bottle, and the rats would do the drug water until they would die. They would just do that until they would die. My God. And they thought, the substance is addictive. This is the problem, right? But then they thought, well, wait a minute. What if it's the environment? So they tried to make a rat paradise with games and really delicious food and really soothing lighting and music. And the rats, they would only put rats together that were like friendly with each other. They tried to make it as perfect as possible. And in that condition, the rats they'd try the drug water once and then they'd go to the regular water. They go, I don't need that. So I think what you're saying, because a rat is always present, so they don't have to worry about being present. They only have to worry about their traumas and their biases, like you say. And if they're simply avoiding trauma, when you're in a paradise type situation, there's not a lot of trauma there to be had. And if you're there from birth, how many biases do you have really, besides that you love being in paradise and don't want to die? Right? So I don't know why I brought this up. It just feels like it ties into what you're talking about. It does. It totally does. If you can after you practice becoming present, or while you're practicing, right? And while you're asking yourself, why do I think this? Why do I believe this? Why do I identify with these ideas? Because you can identify with anything you want. You're free to change your mind at any moment to anything you want it to be. There's nothing stopping you. Unless you're schizophrenic or something, I guess maybe. But for everybody else, there's nothing stopping you. Not a thing. You can choose whoever you want to be. Now, what you were saying about the rats, their environment was great. Now, we can't always choose to have a perfect paradise environment. Right? But we can be very committed and practice every day making choices that make us happy.
Mm.
And be very aware and very conscious and ask yourself, what do I really enjoy? And do that, whatever it is. If you feel fear about that thing that you enjoy, remember, fear is just the future. It's imaginary. It's not real. I wouldn't say that addictions only come when you try to find an easy solution. I would say that in our modern, or well, not ours, in your modern civilization, humans, you guys are taught that the default way your brain works is the way it's supposed to work. Meaning, the things I've always done are the things I'm supposed to do. Which, that's, you guys would call that a logical fallacy, right? Yes, yes. So, what I'm asking then is instead of being on your default autopilot thinking, give yourself permission to be present and think about what's actually happening instead of just thinking about what you've always thought about. I'm talking about changing your mind, literally. Oh. Different patterns of behavior create different brain pathways, which means you practice thinking a certain way, your brain wants to keep doing it. But, I mean, there is a certain amount of not taking the easiest route, you know? I'm not saying to resist necessarily, although for some people that is what they need. I'm saying, take the problem as it is in the present and ask yourself, what problem is my brain trying to solve with my addiction? What problem is my brain trying to solve with my addiction?
So it's the same process as a trauma, finding out the trauma thing.
I mean, that's part of it. Yeah. So then you're saying, be really conscious about your thoughts and don't just let them move on their own. And if they try to move on your own, ask yourself why they're doing that. Oh, why did that thought pop in my head? What does it mean? If you're so often analyzing your thoughts, though, would that take you out of the moment? Well, you're thinking about the present thoughts in the present. You don't have to spend all day on it. If it's just going to pop in there, you might as well say, hey, what is that and why is that there? Right. Huh. Did that answer your question at all? Was that helpful? What do you think? Was that helpful?
To me, yeah.
What about you, Bob? I mean, it gave me a lot to think about. Like, I'm not even sure how to follow up with you on that. What do you think, Domrid? Was that helpful?
You don't need to be refresh.
No. I think he just wants to make sure it was
feedback.
constructive and not just him talking, you know? Dad? I'm not just talking to talk. I know. I think being mindful and aware of thoughts is the first step. Oh, of course, yes. And not just thoughts, but the present.
Mindful and aware to thoughts. Yeah.
Is the first step. What's the second step, Zoon? Taking action. That doesn't mean be frantic and in a hurry and try to get everything solved quick. But take some action. Take the step that's in front of you, like I always say. Okay. So I guess once you're being mindful and present and you're recognizing your thought patterns and you're trying to change. You got it. Yeah. And you try to change them. And then I guess, would you say that everyone's process is a little bit different then in your efforts to change how you think? Because you said change your mind, literally. Wow, dude, you're getting me. Thanks. So then what's the process of changing your mind? Oh, that's stuff I talk about every day. Well, you don't talk about it on here every day. Yeah, but I talk about it here every week. Have a notebook. Write down the things you're working on and the steps you're taking. Every step. Here's the thing about develop a habit of noticing yourself and making changes. Make it a habit. You do it every day. Like I always say, get a notebook, write it all down, keep track, pay attention to your growth. Give yourself a reward when you make changes. Oh, a reward, huh? Like ice cream? Well, not if you're trying to lose weight. Oh, yeah. Hey, I've lost weight. I'm going to reward myself with some ice cream. Maybe that's not the best route. But make it a lifelong project, because your life is a work of art. And you want to be the best artist you possibly can. Not for anybody else, but for you. Unlike actual art, which is for the audience and for you. Yes. Wow. So your life is a personal work of art. Yes, bingo. Whew, I'm shaking. This is such a good question. Oh, you're really feeling it, bro. Well, I guess it's time, huh? Yeah, Saika has that I really want to eat look.
Don't blame on me.
If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. If you have any follow-ups, feel free to message me. If you just want more information for next week, let me know and we'll jump in there. Thank you, Domred. I really appreciate you. And remember, you can do it. I believe in you. 100%. 100%. Hey! Oh! And you're welcome. Thank you. We really appreciate you very much. All right, guys. See you soon. Mwah! All right, Bobby, you can hit the button. And remember, Vincent Price loves you. Darn it, Bob. Hey. The card of the show was harmless jokes. So you got to let me get away with this Vincent Price shenanigan. Okay. Thanks, Donald. Please drop in anytime you like. We're always here. We're not always here, but we are here sometimes. Darn it, Bob. Sorry, just, Yeah.